Am I the a-hole for ruining the family vacation by refusing to go to dinner after my husband laughed at his cousin's joke and telling him to take his mistress instead? Am I the a-hole for intimidating my boyfriend's roommate? Am I the a-hole for not wanting my mother-in-law to be involved in my pregnancy after the stuff she said to me?
Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started.
Am I the a-hole for ruining the family vacation by refusing to go to dinner after my husband laughed at his cousin's joke and telling him to take his mistress instead? I found out after we were already married that it's very common for the older generation of men in my husband's family to keep mistresses as long as they're discreet about it and don't have any outside babies. We went on vacation when my husband's family, including his sister, cousins, and their spouses. My sister-in-law needed to get some new clothes because she was supposed to leave earlier than the rest of us but decided to stay. While we were shopping, the shop assistant was flirting with my husband. His cousin James made jokes about adding her to my husband's collection of girls in every country and how he always said a leopard never changes his spots, and he knew marriage couldn't stop my husband. My husband and his other male cousins thought it was the funniest thing ever. I didn't find it so funny, and neither did his sister, who told James to shut up. In the evening, we were supposed to go for dinner, and my husband noticed I wasn't getting ready, so he asked me to hurry up. I told him I didn't want to go. We had an argument where he was saying James was just joking. I told him I didn't find it funny, and he could take his mistress to dinner instead. He kept insisting he didn't have a mistress and that James was just making a dumb joke, and he was sorry for laughing, but I refused to budge. In the end, none of the other girls went to dinner with them. We all ended up going somewhere together and wouldn't let them come with us. For the rest of the vacation, my sister-in-law insisted we would treat it like a girls' trip and the boys could do whatever they wanted without us. My husband was pissed at me for overreacting to a joke and ruining the family vacation, especially since James apologized too, but things didn't go back to normal. Was I the a-hole? Story 2. Am I the a-hole for intimidating my boyfriend's roommate? My 20 female boyfriend, same age as me, lives on a college dorm and his new roommate, 18 male but he looks younger, was moving that day. When I knocked on the door, the new kid opened it and stared at me as if he saw a ghost. He didn't move or say anything for a few seconds, so I told him, "Are you just going to stand there gawking at me, or are you going to let me in?" I talk like that to people in general, and my boyfriend in particular. Also, I was a little weirded out by this kid looking at me. He moved from the door without saying anything, but kept his eyes on me. "Don't let her talk to you like that, kid," called out my boyfriend from the bed jokingly. "She is a championship-level ball buster." I looked at the kid on the eyes and asked, "You've got any?" He stopped looking at me and went to his bed. My boyfriend and I were going to eat pizza and he invited the kid, but he just moved his head to say no. After we left, my boyfriend told me that the kid is really shy and that I went too far with my banter. I said that he should have warned me because he knows how I am and that I only said the balls thing because he set me up. Am I the a-hole? Story 3. Am I the a-hole for not wanting my mother-in-law to be involved in my pregnancy after the stuff she said to me? I lost my husband to a drunk driver 3 months ago. Ironically, we were on our way to visit his parents to tell them about my pregnancy when the accident happened. I somehow got away with just a permanent scar on my forehead. He died in a hospital 8 hours later. We were able to talk to him some hours before he passed away, and it was not pleasant. My sister-in-law, my late husband's 2 best friends, and his cousin have been really helpful through these times. Sister-in-law has come to stay with me indefinitely, and her husband has been understanding. His best friends both keep dropping by to check on me, and so does his cousin. I never got to announce my pregnancy to anyone. I just couldn't get myself to. The only people to know are the 4 above-mentioned people, and they decided it would be best if I announced it myself when I'm ready. The thing, my mother-in-law has not been her pleasant self around me. She hates me for being the one that survived instead of her son, and I feel it too. She started accusing me of having an affair with his best friend because he came over too much. Then she accused me of hooking up with his cousin. She even accused me of sleeping with his sister since she's been at my house so much. We're both straight women who lost someone close to us, and we decided to ban her from visiting me. Some days ago, I finally felt strong enough to announce the pregnancy. I individually called up all the close family. Mother-in-law got really excited and all about the baby and asked me when she could come over to help me through my first pregnancy. I lost it and told her she didn't need to be involved with me at all and hung up. This has stirred up many problems in the family. My resolve might be weakening. I don't want her and her snarky remarks around me during my pregnancy. I have kept it as brief and to the point as possible.